be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman, same promo code, 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? Theorix6 back with some more Magic the Gathering. Today, we're hip-hopping into some Doom Pact, some white-black enchantment value goodness stuff. This deck essentially is just Doom Foretold, but more, because we now have access to Demonic Pact. And Demonic Pact is a really cool enchantment that has you lose the game on it. We'll get to that. For Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize in a non-blue deck is fantastic. It allows you to just get rid of whatever you need to get rid of. You do lose 2 life, however, the deck does have a few different ways of gaining life. Bada bing? No, this doesn't gain life. Whatever. Shut up. So, keep that in mind. 2 Charming Prince and 2 Burglar Rat. Charming Prince is relatively helpful in this deck because it can scry you, which is just great. You want to make sure that you're hitting your lands, but also not over-hitting your lands. We are rocking exactly 24. And I do think that's probably correct for a deck like this, because it's a deck that aims to win in the late game, but not the late game. Like, this is a mid-range control. This is a control mid-range deck, but it errs on the side of mid-range a little bit more than on the side of control. Right, in a control mirror, not the perfect deck mirror, you're the aggro, typically. So being able to scry is nice. Gaining 3 life, fantastic when there's so many aggro decks out right now, especially just mono red. And then you can, if you really need to, exile a Burglar Rat or a Gonti to get extra copies of it. Burglar Rat, why were you running this and not Yark's Fenlurker? The reason is, we are using Mind Stone, we do have a decent amount of double white in here, so we don't want to stretch our mana base too thin. So Burglar Rat is sufficient. But both of these are fantastic because we can just sacrifice them to Doom Foretold. How nice. Trial of Ambition is a card that is pretty awesome because it's an enchantment that lets you force your opponent to sacrifice a creature, right? We don't have any cartouches, so we're not going to get extra value out of this. But the fact that we can have a permanent card that costs 2 mana that force our opponent to sack means that we have some decent removal that we can then use for Doom Foretold, very similar to this. 2 Final Payment. Sometimes you have a Demonic Pact and you don't have a way of getting rid of it, so Final Payment is great as long as there's a creature on the field, which is technically another reason that I'm running 6 creatures. Is it really only 6? Yep, 6 creatures, because sometimes you won't have anything to target and you'll have a Demonic Pact and you'll just be like but still, fret not. Final Payment allows you to sacrifice an enchantment, or you can just sack a creature or 5 life to yeet something that needs to be yeeted. For Mind Stones, it helps us to ramp into our other cards, and it can be used to sacrifice to draw a card, and it can be used to sack for Doom Foretold. 3 Treacherous Blessing, a Doom Foretold staple, 3 mana, ETB, draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose a life. If it becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it, but that doesn't actually matter, because the plan is we sacrifice it via Final Payment or Doom Foretold. Cool. Oath of Kaya is 3 damage, 3 life, and that's pretty much it. You can sacrifice it to Doom Foretold. We don't have any Planeswalkers. We don't plan on bouncing this in any way. Other than that, it's fine. 2 Wrath of God. We now have Wrath of God. So that's cool. I wish I had Damnation, but whatever. For Demonic Pact, kind of half of this deck's name. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Demonic Pact deals 4 damage to any target, and you gain 4. It's a bit of a beefed up Oath of Kaya, but it is slow. You have to wait till your upkeep. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Not terrible. Draw 2 cards. Alright, cool. You lose the game. So, make sure you don't have that one activate. 2 Gonti, Lord of Luxury. I like Gonti. I think Gonti's cool. So I wanted to play with more Gontis. Gonti allows us to potentially rip some pretty cool stuff from our control opponent specifically, and it's just a nice death touch threat that's annoying to deal with, that we can sack to Doom Foretold if we have to. Speaking of Doom Foretold has been around. You should probably know what this card is by now, but essentially, each player has to sacrifice a non-token permanent, non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard, lose 2, then you draw, gain 2, and you make a 2/9. Whoop-de-doo, cool. 2 Elspeth Conquers Death. This is just a generally strong card. Probably don't need it in the deck, but I wanted to include it, so I did. That's pretty much it. This is the mana base. I do have one of each of the 1 mana cycling cards, and that essentially is just to make sure that we don't overdraw lands too much. And then 4 Temple of Silence as well, because the Scry is helpful, especially when we only have 4 1-drops. It means that turn 1 Scry isn't all that bad. You might notice that I'm not running any of the Castle Lochthwain or Castle Ardenvale. They felt like a bit much. These are some of the other cards that either I considered for the main deck or are cards that you could use if you wanted to play this in best of 3. I just like Eldest Reborn. It was between Conquer's Death and Eldest Reborn, and the reason I chose or Conquer's Death is because of the fact that you get to choose the thing, and it doesn't have to be a creature or planeswalker. It can be an enchantment or an artifact or whatever. But generally speaking, Eldest Reborn is better because of the fact that you can steal your opponent's win con. Whereas with Conquer's Death, we are likely not going to get a lot of value out of the 3rd chapter. Plague, Field of the Dead. Arena is generally nice against the more controlling decks, so you can take out things like Final Payment or Trial of Ambition or even Wrath of God to bring those in. Elspeth's Nightmare was one of the ones that I considered for the main deck, but I just didn't really find room for it. I preferred having the few creatures. Rule of Law, okay if you're going up against some sort of combo deck. Trespasser's Curse, I've heard people say that this card's great, but I don't see it. Birth of Melodus, another one of the cards that I considered early on, but I wanted the creatures. If you were to play this card, I think you could get rid of either the set of Mind Stones or probably just the creatures. They do approximations of each other. Rest in Peace is strong. And Flicker of Fate is just cool because you can bounce your enchantments. You can reset your Demonic Pacts. You can reset just all of these, frankly. Not this one. This is when it becomes target with spell or ability sacrifices, so you can't actually do that because it targets. But you can rebuy a lot of your things. So I do think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that is it. Let's hop into some games. I did play a game. Now the assistant isn't working. That's so weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. How odd. Oh well. Let's see. So I think I will... Do I want to turn 1 Thoughtseize? I can Temple of Scrylands on turn 2. They're going first. Yeah, since they're going first, I do want to Thoughtseize them on turn 1. If they're going second, I don't think I would. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. What are you buying? Good to know. Good to know. So I do need to be wary of Elspeth Conquer's Death to hit my Doom Foretold. Or my Demonic Pact, frankly. I feel like I was talking about something. I just don't remember what it was. So this is Approach the Second Sun. It's very obvious this is an approach deck. They have so much card draw that there's no way this isn't an approach deck. Which does mean I think we're unfavored. I think approach does relatively well against pretty slow control decks. If I did this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 8, I'd have 8 cards if I cast Treacherous Blessing. And I wouldn't be able to do... Well, I'd be drawing 3, so I feel like I probably would be able to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Especially, it might get countered. It still, for what it's worth, might get countered. Sure. I'm going to yeet the Trial of Ambition. That is unlikely to matter. So, let's see. Scry here. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. I think I Thoughtseize first. Was that incorrect? No, I think I'm supposed to Thoughtseize second. Yeah, I think technically I'm supposed to Thoughtseize second and Burglar Rat first. But whatevs. Now I have a dorky little 1/1. Got River Plains. Shoot. Let's see if they have a counterspell. Well, I'm going to attack first. So luckily we know 2 of their cards. They have Ventress and Illumination. Alright, they're taking a little bit. I do have some lovely questions from the Discord. Master Crowdmentor asks, what lands do you want Wizards to reprint in Zendikar? Alternatively, what new lands do you want to see? So, for what it's worth, I do believe that Wizards, at least Mark Rosewater, has stated, I think, that there's going to be a new cycle of lands. I believe it's the case that they're not actually reprinting any given lands. They had... No, they didn't have a counterspell. Sure. Uh-oh. Ooh, the sneeze was real. Yes, that said, I don't really want them to print new things. Like, I would rather them finish cycles. Right? So we have this, right? This cycle would be nice to complete. I doubt we're going to see cycling on Zendikar. It doesn't really make a ton of sense. As like a main theme. Like, I don't think you put these lands into a set unless you have cycling as the main theme. But I would like to see this finished. The cycle from Shadows of Innistrad, where you have to reveal a forest or one of the land types. So like if it's a black-white. Really? Did I forget to play this last turn? Because I think I did. I think I forgot to play that last turn. I'm dumb and bad. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if my cast approach like this turn, I'm just like screwed. That's the approach is fantastic against non-counterspell based control decks that are slow. And I am one of those. So we go on in for the Smorks. And then I guess we probably... Do we play Treacherous Blessing? Maybe. Now we're actually gonna try and Demonic Pact our opponent. We're gonna try and get them to discard too. See if this resolves though. I assume they're reading it currently. Let's see, what are some other lands that I would like to see finished? Well, that's just rude. 5 mana, I could cycle this. Do I want to cycle this? I probably want to cycle this. Let's cycle it. Sure. For what it's worth, I'm glad I did it. They still have to discard a card here. So the idea was that I get Demonic Pact out, I force them to discard, and then they discard that last card. I do guess 1, 2, 3. So they need to get a land here. I assume their last card is Approach. Yeah, my assumption is their last card is Approach, and they just don't have the mana for it. Sphinx is Rev. Okay. Sure. Sure. Unfortunately... Ooh, Gonti can steal it, though. Top 4? Okay. 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 I think I want a Treacherous Blessing first, maybe? I only have 2 Thoughtseizes left. It's 1 life. I don't think it actually matters. But I do think I want a Treacherous Blessing first. Oh. Not what I thought it would be, to be honest. I legitimately thought that they would have Approach. That awkward moment where now this is hurting myself. I have... Elspeth Conquers Death is an opponent controls, unfortunately. I have 2 more Doom Foretolds. I do have a couple final payments. We'll attack first. We'll cycle the Steppe. Now, I do think I want to preserve Gonti, to be honest. Cycle. Both of Kaya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast Charming Prince first. I am relatively worried about just more Sphinxes in relation nonsense, but not much I can do. I think I just want to scry 2. Probably look for Doom Foretold, I guess. Maybe Final Payment. I'm not sure. I don't like getting hurt. But, you know, them's are the breaks. I'd like to see the Horizon Canopy thing finish. Oh, Final Payment, cool. I'll just keep it. Just scouts. Just scouts. No reason. I'm just gonna Baba Yitu in their face. Get a little bit more life back. But yeah, right now the Horizon Canopy group, I think, is just the enemy versions. So I'd like to see. Let's see. I would like to see the allied pairs. I do wonder how many approaches these decks play. Okay, they had a stop, but they kept that on top. So this has to be an approach. Okay, it is approach. Sure. My turn. Approach 1, 2, 3. This is 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can force my opponent. So if they try to get it too quickly, I can force my opponent to discard it. Otherwise, I can use Gonti to take it from them. The issue is that the next time approach is cast, they win. So I'm wondering, I don't know how many approaches my opponents tend to play. But I think... I guess I could Demonic Pact? I guess I can attack first. I might as well play Demonic Pact now, because I do have a final payment. Ow. I forgot this is on upkeep anyway. So I needed to do it now. I keep forgetting this is on upkeep, not immediately. So my opponent does Vantress. Very interesting. So they don't want to put it in their hand this turn. 1 top, 1 bottom. Sure, they have 4 mana. They'll draw this. Damn, it's still too far down. They'll all draw 2. Teferi. Sure.
This isn't my first time being the hero.
Are you just gonna not plus? My opponent doesn't know I'm playing Gonti. They're just gonna try and get closer. 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay. I get to Gonti. Let's... I guess we'll just Demonic Pact. Wait, can I just Demonic Pact their face? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I can just force them to do that. Yeah, this is fine. Let's cut a creature, right? Yeah. Alright. We're going to force the issue on the Teferi. My opponent has to phase out one of my creatures. Sure. Then we Gonti. Yes. We take the approach. And we'll Doom Foretold as well. So now they need to get another approach, and they need to be able to cast it still. So they have 1, 2, 3. So they're not using Ventress. Are they using Ventress? If they use Ventress, they won't have nearly enough mana to Ventress and still cast an approach. They have to lose to Fairy. But they're just discarding a card randomly. So if they knew they were going to not want one of those cards, they should have kept it on top. I was going to say this match isn't very favored, but when your opponent just doesn't draw the approach, and then you force them to discard... Like, I will say, I think we played that as well as we could have. And what's nice is that even if my opponent had a board wipe here, because my Charming Prince is phased out, well, because my Charming Prince was phased out, they wouldn't even kill my Charming Prince, so I would still be able to lethal them. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I went for their face and not for Teferi. Because technically I could have killed Teferi and then put them to 3, I think. But then if they board wiped, I wouldn't necessarily be able to kill them, yada yada yada. Cool. Well, that was one game. I'm gonna play another one, obviously. Yeah, in general, for the Zendikar question, I would prefer to see Wizards finish a cycle of cards than print new ones. I like when my cycles are complete. We get to go first, so we probably turn 1 Temple. Well, no, I guess we can turn 2 Temple, can't we? Yeah, I think we're just gonna turn 1 Thoughtseize. It's a good hand. We have Final Payment plus Demonic Pact, which is quite nice. The turn 1 Thoughtseize is fantastic, especially after our opponent has Mulligan here. Means that we're going to be able to yeet what's in their hand, Temple of Silence on the following turn because we'll be more informed about what our opponent's game plan is, etc., etc. Goblins. Goblins. I think if we just take away their mana. Nope. So they'll play a thing, I'll play a Treacherous Blessing. Can actually just Demonic Pact next turn. Doom Foretold also quite nice. I think I probably Doom Foretold next turn. They play that, sure. I do take a decent bit here. We play... I do think we play Doom Foretold. I think this probably slows them down the most. They lose something here. That is absolutely fine. I lose my Treacherous Blessing, then I immediately follow it up with a Demonic Pact to kill one of their creatures and gain some life. Probably going to kill a Siege Gang. Although this is a lot of damage. I keep forgetting that Demonic Pact is upkeep. So I'm dead. 2-4, I am dead. That was dumb of me. I keep forgetting Demonic Pact is upkeep. Oops. Oopsie doopsies. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. For what it's worth, this deck, it's possible that I should be running fewer, like maybe one Elspeth Conquers. I probably shouldn't be running any. I should probably be running like 2 Cry the Canariums or something. But I'm just greedy. There was nothing I could do, dude. Inferno Droid asks, what is my favorite Phyrexian card and character? Favorite Phyrexian card, I think, is Birthing Pod. Absolutely loved that card. I played it a lot in Modern when it was still legal. My favorite Phyrexian character is easily Elesh Norn. I love me some Elesh Norn. She is so cool. She is currently the ruler of New Phyrexia under the Machine Orthodoxy. And I just think she's cool. I think she's rad. And if anyone has a Phyrexian version of Elesh Norn and they would like to send it to me for some reason, please feel free to send it to me. Get in touch. Okay, so it's another Azorius deck. Or blue-white base, at least. My guess is always just, it's more approach. I don't think I want the Prince. Prince Ali, something is he, Ali Ababa. I can't sing in the right key, oh pity me. I pulled this out of my ass, even though it sounds crass. Oh no! Whatever. I just keep casting, and casting, and casting, and casting. This is very dangerous, by the way. Because if my Demonic Pact doesn't resolve. Alright, that's fine. Or, sorry, if my Doom Foretold didn't resolve, then it would have been. Word! Teffers? Teffers, alright. So, are they gonna have another counterspell? Probably. Yeah, I assume they just have... you always have to assume they have a counterspell. The thing is, you still have to cast spells. I think I'm gonna play around Censor, though. And cast Doom Foretold here. Cool. Bye, Teferi. This does mean I'm gonna lose my Doom Foretold, which sucks huge ass. But... what can you do, dude? I was playing around Censor when I should have just went for the Demonic Pact. Yep. Whoops. Well, why am I doing this before I cast Treacherous Blessing? I have no idea. Do I Treacherous Blessing here? Probably, right? Nah, Demonic Pact. Nonsense. Oh, that question is too difficult to answer in one piece. Stop having counterspells, you mongrel. Okay. That's not a counterspell. Cool. I get to draw cards. Look, it's a Burglar Rat. Another Teffers. This one will unfortunately most likely have counterspell backup.
I know my responsibility.
Although they didn't.
We need to move quickly.
Maybe not. Maybe this might be the thing that has to have a counter. I just go for it.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
We take those. The issue is that we don't really have our engine going, you know? At any moment, they can still just approach our ass. And we don't have much we can do about it. I guess I should probably address the whole, Demonic Pact donation, like, give it to your opponent. I might make that deck at some point. It's not going to be right now. What the hell? That's stank of desperation. What? And then... what? But, like, why, though? Oh, don't do this to me, game. Oh, don't do this to me, game. No like. I'm 65 non-lands in my deck. 65% non-lands in my deck. And this is how you repay me? I want to see bottom. Ooh. Yins don't want to see those top bottoms. Don't like that. That's a counterspell waiting to happen. I don't like that I keep drawing lands either. I hate everything about you. Why do I love you? Sucks. 2/3 of my deck are non-lands right now. Bottom, we'd like to see it. Gideon of the Trials. Now I have to kill a stupid Gideon.
Virtue will always triumph. I'm going in.
Excuse me, Gideon? Something you want to say? Well, I'm going to cast this and probably isn't going to get countered. Y'all... I'll just save the embarrassment. I'll concede. That was what? One game against Gobbos, one game against Approach, and then another game against Approach. The Gobbos game, I could have played better. That one, unfortunately, too many lands. Too many lands. I can actually check deck. No. No. Where's... Oh, statistics. You all can't see this. So I've won 2 matches and I've lost. $142. That was the very first one? That must not have counted then. So technically I've gone 2-2 with this. But god damn, this is amazing. All these deck stats that none of you can see. It's fine. Oh, shut up. By the way, if you're curious, this is my draft deck. Oh no. This is my draft deck. It's Esper Flyers. If you want to see more panicking like that, go to my second channel, Six and Stuff, where you can see me play Fall Guys and hear me say no a lot. Oh my gosh. Alright. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwin, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description below. Oh gosh, please check out my second channel. It's a fun time. Oh goodness me. I had a little panic attack there. What am I saying? Alright, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff really does help. Until next time, all will be one.